Continuing from the previous episode 770. After Wen Zi left, not long after, two identical twins appeared in the palace. "Wang, are you looking for us?" one of them said. "Horan, Hao King, are you here?" King Xuanling saw the two coming, and smiled slightly. The darkness just disappeared without a trace. "I don't know what is the matter with you, Wang. I was still practicing fighting skills when I was called by the national teacher Wen Zi." One of them said, "Hao King, don't be rude. The two are almost identical in height and appearance. But there is one place that is very easy to distinguish. My elder brother Qi Horan, who was in the middle stage of the 7-star fighting emperor, was a very high-spirited person, had a deep sense of government, and was prudent in his work. And the younger brother Qi Hao King, the strength of the 7-star fighting emperor in the early stage, is arrogant, so it is very easy to distinguish." "Haha, it's okay. The reason for calling the two of you here this time is mainly for the ruins." King Xuanling naturally wouldn't have the same knowledge as Qi Hao King, so he spoke immediately. "Relic?" Qi Hao King was surprised when he heard the words. The matter of the ruins can be said to have been rumored recently, so even if the second brother is addicted to cultivation, he still hears others practicing cultivation. "Wang, do you want us to enter the ruins?" Qi Horan asked slightly after hearing this. "That's right. Nowadays, although our Xuanling royal family has constant internal disputes, it is the time when there is a shortage of talents. And only the two of you are the strongest of the younger generation of my Xuanling royal family, so I want you to enter the ruins to practice and prepare for the future sect competition." Xuanling King said earnestly, even there was a hint of seriousness in his voice. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Co M, elder brother. "I didn't expect this to be true. I've heard about the ruins for a long time. I've been bored in this Xuanling royal family all day, and there are no real masters. I'm almost rusted. This time, let me go out and have a good look at the powerhouses of the sect, and see who is stronger and who is weaker." Qi Hao King heard that, naturally regardless of other things, he immediately said to his brother, "Is there a mission?" The next moment, Qi Horan thought for a few breaths and then asked. "It's not a task, it's a test at most. If it passes, then the Xuanling royal family will have a place in the worship hall in the future." The Xuanling royal family smiled slightly. "Really?" When Qi Hao King heard the words, he immediately laughed. As they have been in the Xuanling royal family for many years, they naturally know that if they have the opportunity to join the Xuanling royal family's worship hall, their future cultivation resources will be greatly guaranteed. Naturally, King Xuanling smiled slightly. "What test?" Qi Horan asked. "Do whatever it takes to prevent the people of Wanhua Pavilion from gaining inheritance." "The blocker, kill." King Xuanling's cold voice sounded slowly from the palace at the next moment. "Deal." The next moment, Qi Horan agreed without thinking. From the day they joined the Xuanling royal family, they knew that the relationship between the Xuanling royal family and Wanhua Pavilion, Poison Sect and Burning Incense Pavilion was like water and fire. "That's good. Go down and prepare. It's not too long before the ruins start. As for the information about other sects participating in this ruin, I will send it to you. However, Xiao Yan from the Burning Incense Pavilion should pay more attention." King Xuanling instructed. "Okay." After agreeing to King Xuanling, the two brothers left slowly. "These two guys." King Xuanling looked at the two guys who were leaving, smiled slowly, and then tried his best to recover the injuries in his body. "Tianshan, Wanjiamen, Master Zhu Zhenxian, tell me what is in the ruins this time." Zhu Zhenxian had just returned to Wanjiamen, and was immediately entangled by his two proud disciples. Zhu Zhenxian has two disciples, only named Hongqin and one named Song Yu, who are a pair of childhood sweethearts. The relationship between the two has been quite good since childhood, and the strength behind the two sent them to Wanjiamen for cultivation, so the relationship between the two has always been very good, and there is a vague situation of private life. "Qiner, let the master rest for a while." A rather handsome man walked towards him, holding a jug in his hand, and in the jug, the elegant aroma of wine floated slightly. "Good wine. It's still my baby Yueru who understands me." When Zhu Zhenxian saw the fine wine in Song Yu's hand, he immediately jumped up like he was lost. "Song Yu!" Seeing this, Hongqin couldn't help roaring. Last time, Song Yu heard the roar, secretly said that it was not good, and quickly explained. How many times have I told you that drinking alcohol is not good for your health? You can't let the master drink, how can you? Humph. At the end of the sentence, Hong Qinzhao snorted, obviously dissatisfied with Song Yu. Hey, Qiner, you and I quit drinking for the teacher. Why don't you kill me? Zhu Jianxian took the wine in Song Yu's hand, took a sip happily, and cast a glance at Hong Qian. Right, I forgot about the business. In the ruins this time, there are not only a few medicinal herbs that your sect master needs, but also the existence of the fighting spirit. Zhu Jianxian said suddenly, do you have any medicinal materials that your uncle needs? That's great. When Qiner heard this, she laughed happily, and the displeasure just now disappeared without a trace. Fighting soul? The next moment, Song Yu's brows wrinkled. Obviously he was quite wary of these two words. Yep, and we didn't go into the deeper part of the ruins, where there seems to be a human breath. After drinking a few sips of wine, Zhu Jianxian said as if he was not drunk. Fighting soul? Human breath? Qiner was surprised when she heard the words. As for the fighting spirit, she naturally knew what it meant. The list of people who go to the ruins this time is just the two of you. Where do you want to talk to him? Zhu Jianxian disappeared instantly, leaving only Song Yu and Qiner. The two looked at each other and then hugged back. Broken Mountain, Heartless Valley. Our Heartless Valley really hasn't been born for a long time. If it continues like this, I'm afraid it will be forgotten by the world. Binger, this time the ruins will be taken away by you. Remember that everything is mainly about safety. There are all kinds of emotions in the world. Love words hurt people the most, don't mess with men. In a rather desolate pavilion, an old woman instructed her disciple carefully. Disciple obeys. A veiled woman agreed slightly. Mount Tai, the puppet mansion. There are organs and dolls everywhere, and if something goes wrong, they will be besieged by countless dolls and die. The ruins were born. This time, go out and have a look. In 30 years, you have already learned all the mathematics that I have learned, and I can no longer teach you anything. The puppet palace master looked at the proud disciple in front of him, and said reluctantly, Disciple, I want to study with the palace master for a few more years. Hearing this, the most proud disciple of the palace master's puppet palace said slightly modestly, Okay, since that's the case, then this time you go to the ruins to bring back the fighting spirit. The mansion master has been teaching you for 10 years. The puppet mansion said with a smile. The disciple will definitely live up to the master's entrustment. After the man who was surrounded by the puppet finished speaking, he slowly laughed. With this smile, the puppet behind him suddenly burst into a gloomy smile. This person is impressively the most outstanding disciple of the puppet mansion, Hua Lexin. However, at the age of 30, with a single-handed puppet technique, I am afraid that there are very few people who can beat the entire puppet palace. At this point, there are still many large and small sects discussing the ruins, and I believe that it will be hotly opened soon. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 771. There are still 10 days before the seal of the ruins weakens, and the sects of all sizes in Zhang are busy. But at this time, in the burning incense pavilion, there was an uninvited guest. Master, Senior Sister, wouldn't we be too rash? At the foot of Mount Huashan, two women slowly appeared here. One of the women looked at the towering Huashan mountain, and immediately became a little hesitant. Huashan, where the burning incense pavilion is located, and where is Xiao Yan? I said Xiaoyue, isn't it very cold in the sect for a few years? Why are you so restless when you come to Huashan now? The senior sister joked. Okay, I get it now. It turned out that I wanted to see my little lover. Are you nervous? Before the woman could speak, senior sister said. Senior sister. Seeing that her senior sister was speaking freely, Yueru immediately let out a coquettish anger. If she kept talking, she would put her face somewhere. Let me think about it. What is the name of that boy in Fenxiang Pavilion? It seems to be Xiao Yan. I want to see. What is the holy place that can make our cold Xiao Yue run around like a little deer? After the senior sister finished speaking, she laughed. The visitor is Yueru in Wanhua Pavilion's current senior sister, and also one of the only two disciples of Wanhua Pavilion, Shu Qi. Shu Qi, the eldest disciple of the pavilion master of Wanhua Pavilion, his strength is comparable to the early stage of the 7-star Do Di, and he is quite free and easy to get along with. Senior sister, you have the strength of the 7-star Do Emperor now, so you can't bully him for a while. After a while, Yueru decided to speak. Whoops, this hasn't even become a family yet. Shu Qi continued to joke. Because Yueru had an agreement with Xiaoyan before, her strength reached the 5-star Do Emperor consummation, and she needed Xiaoyan's help when she broke through. Now that the pavilion master of Wanhua Pavilion is not there, and Huayan can't stand Yueru's continuous hard and soft actions, she sent Shu Qi and Yueru went to Burning Incense Pavilion to find Xiaoyan. After all, the 8-star Do Emperor powerhouses in the ruins are not allowed to enter, and this Shuqi is also the best among the 8-star Do Emperor in Wanhua Pavilion today. Senior sister, let's go. Yueru knew her senior sister's character, so she ignored her words and spoke slightly. After speaking, the two of them were heading towards Huashan Mountain, and the place they went to was the entrance of Burning Heaven territory. Where did they try to enter the Burning Incense Pavilion? Unfortunately, how can other brothers and sisters cultivate well in the sect? I have to come here to be responsible for guarding the Burning Heaven territory. Our Fenxiang Pavilion's protection is quite strict. Except for Xiaoyan who broke into the Burning Heaven territory once, no one has broken into it so far. Hey, it's really a bad tone. At this moment, Wang Chen's complaining voice sounded outside the Burning Heaven territory. The guards and inspections of Fen Tianyu have always been the responsibility of the many senior brothers at the location. Now that the senior and second senior brothers have left the sect, these tasks are naturally assigned to them. And Wang Chen naturally became the first. Who? After all, Wang Chen was very aware of the importance of Burning Heaven territory, and immediately kept vigilant. When he saw a strange space ripple appearing above Burning Heaven territory, Wang Chen said that he was vigilant. Xiao Yue, look, this is the guardian formation of Fenxiang Pavilion, called Fen Tianyu. It is said that even Do Xian powerhouses fell into it. Shu Qi's sweet voice sounded outside the Burning Heaven territory. Shu Qi was very knowledgeable and stopped outside the Burning Heaven territory with Yueru. As a direct disciple of the pavilion master of Wanhua Pavilion, Shu Qi knew the terrifying nature of this great formation protecting the sect. Little brother, we are from Wanhua Pavilion, come to Fenxiang Pavilion to look for Xiaoyan, and please let me know. Shu Qi's soul moved. She instantly knew where Wang Chen was, and immediately said softly. Looking for Xiaoyan? When Wang Chen heard the words, he suddenly remembered the competition between himself and Xiaoyan, and now Xiaoyan is in the limelight. One of these two women is a 5-star fighting emperor, but their strength is far more tyrannical than Xiaoyan. Why are these two looking for Xiaoyan? And these two are from Wanhua Pavilion. I remember that Wanhua Pavilion and our Fenxiang Pavilion had some misunderstandings. How could they send someone to us? Although Wang Chen's strength is not outstanding, his mind is very clear. Knowing clearly how important Xiaoyan is to the entire Burning Incense Pavilion, as a fellow disciple, Wang Chen has the right to help Xiao Yi to stop some unnecessary troubles. We don't have a person like Xiaoyan in Fenxiang Pavilion. You two should go back and forth from where you came from. Wang Chen said lightly, and immediately swept into the space of Fen Tianyu. Xinya 81 Zhang Wei and Wang Wu. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koam. After all, this woman's strength is unfathomable. If she suddenly makes a move, Wang Chen will be a little scared. This guy. When Shu Qi heard the words, her eyes tightened, and a serious expression instantly appeared. This guy, he doesn't look at his face, but he wants to make himself angry. No? Yueru was full of joy, but when Wang Chen finished speaking, her face darkened. Why not? Yueru couldn't help but say. Don't believe this guy. I see that guy won't be honest if he doesn't beat him up. After Shu Qi finished speaking, the figure disappeared strangely, and a cyan vitality suddenly emerged. The energy of the wind attribute comes and goes without a trace. It's so fast. Wang Chen was shocked when he saw this, but when he was about to make his link to move www.novelmtl.com, he was shocked by Shu Qi's speed. Let's come to find someone. Why are you? Shu Qi came to Wang Chen's side as fast as a gust of wind, raised her palm just to take a picture, but stopped her, and then stared at Wang Chen and said solemnly. Wang Chen was stared at so closely by Shuqi Qixing Do Emperor Powerhouse, and he couldn't help but feel a lot of pressure. Senior sister, don't cause trouble. Yueru was also a little scared, and immediately said. I know. Although Shu Qi was a little angry, after weighing the pros and cons, she didn't do anything, she just gave Wang Chen some power. 2. We really don't have Xiao Yan in the Fenxiang Pavilion, so please come back. Wang Chen called the two women to be terrifying. Fen Tianyu is a sect that protects Fenxiang Pavilion. Every time it is opened, it costs a lot of money, so Wang Chen does not dare to open it rashly. The Burning Heaven territory is in the sky, and the Burning Incense Pavilion is above the ground, so it is natural to ask for help. Yueru couldn't help but feel a little angry when she heard this. Yueru? Just when the three were evenly matched, a man with a heavy foot on his back passed by, and immediately exclaimed to the young girl. Xiao Yan. Yueru was called out by this familiar voice, and she stood in a stalemate in the air. Isn't the person who speaks the one who thinks about it day and night? Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 772. Xiao Yan. At this moment, Yueru was full of thoughts. She stood blankly on the spot, her eyes staring at Xiao Yan's body slightly. He became thinner and stronger. Yueru doesn't know what Xiao Yan has experienced in the past few years, but there is no doubt that Xiao Yan's body has lost some weight, and his strength has also increased a lot. Obviously, he must have suffered a lot. Yueru, why are you here? Xiao Yan gestured to Wang Chen slightly, then Wang Chen didn't say anything, just laughed, and then disappeared directly into the Burning Heaven territory. Now that Xiao Yan is here, he doesn't need him anymore, so he can be lazy. I'm here to find you. Yueru hesitated the next moment. Although I won the master's approval, as a girl, I can't say that I came to Xiao Yan for the ruins, right? And only Yueru knew that it was false to come to Xiao Yan with the excuse of cultivation, but it was true after thinking about him. Let me tell you, as an outsider, Shu Qi naturally knew Yueru's situation, and immediately said to her. Following her senior sister's relief, Yueru breathed a sigh of relief and cast a grateful look at her. The strength of this woman. So strong. This was Xiao Yan's first comment on Shu Qi. Just such a face-to-face meeting made Xiao feel a unique pressure on Shu Qi. Xiao Yan could only feel this pressure from Zhu Yuan. This shows that the laughing woman in front of him is also a 7-star fighting emperor, of the strong. I heard that you and Yueru are old acquaintances, and you promised her back then that you would find you when your strength reaches the 5-star Do Emperor's successful breakthrough. No, we're here now. What are you going to do? After Shu Qi finished speaking, she stared at Xiao Yan slightly, looking forward to what Xiao Yan would do. Xiao Yan was suddenly at a loss. Forget it, I won't tease you. Yueru's situation is a bit special. This time I came to you, mainly to pull you into our camp, and this time in the ruins. If it can help Yueru get a complete inheritance smoothly, I want the misunderstanding between our Wanhua Pavilion and your Burning Incense Pavilion to disappear. Shu Qi said, Let's go. Let's talk about where I live first. Xiao Yan smiled and said immediately after hearing this. Others come all the way to look for help, but I can't let others talk about things in the sky. Let's go. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, he gestured towards the Fenxiang Pavilion and wrote it down, and then the Fenxiang Pavilion no longer rejected Shu Qi and the other two. When Shu Qi and Yueru saw this, their evaluation of Zanji became higher. After a while, the three of them slowly came to Wujuju. At this time, there was no one in Wujuju. Obviously, they all went to practice. Okay, let's talk about anything. Xiao Yan came to his residence and immediately said to Shu Qi and Yueru. This time, I have already obtained the approval of our pavilion master and your pavilion master of burning incense. I hope your kid will help Yueru obtain a complete inheritance. Because this is not only about the affairs of our second pavilion, but also about Yueru's life and death. Seeing that there was no one around, Shu Qi immediately raised her voice. Life or death? Xiao Yan was shocked when he heard the words. He had never heard that the inheritor could still have a relationship between life and death. I don't need to lie to you. If you don't believe me, you can ask your little Yue yourself. Shu Qi said coldly, Senior sister. Being called out by her senior sister in front of Xiao Yan, Yueru immediately became a little depressed and snorted. It's all right. I'll go out and get some air. The two of you will talk slowly. Seeing that she wrote about her little junior sister, Shu Qi couldn't say anything more. Anyway, the purpose of her trip was to protect Yueru. Obtaining a complete inheritance is obviously Xiao Yan's business. In the past few years, how are you? Yueru slowly opened her mouth to face Xiao Yan when she saw Shu Qi leaving. How is your internal body? How could Xiao Yan not know Yueru's thoughts, But Xiao Yan is already married, so he can't harm others, so he immediately diverted his attention. Ah! When Xiao Yan asked this, Yueru was immediately confused. This time, the ruins are said to be related to your inheritor's secret. Don't worry, I will do my best to help you. Seeing that Yueru was a little stunned, Xiao Yan smiled immediately. Yep, your strength seems to be a bit strong. As a little girl, Yueru naturally didn't have as much experience as Xiao Yan, so she didn't know what Xiao Yan was thinking, and she didn't have much thought, so she cared about Xiao Yan. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Koem, 6-star Do D is complete. Xiao Yan said calmly. Ah! Next month, Ru Zaidu exclaimed. The 6-star Do D has been consummated? Did I hear it wrong? I remember that when Xiao Yan was in the Yu family, he was only so powerful. I haven't seen him in the past few years. He actually broke through the 6-star Do Emperor and reached a complete success. This strength is stronger than his father's. So strong, Yueru said slightly. Hey, don't worry, if you are an inheritor, if you get a complete inheritance this time, I'm afraid your strength will soar like a rocket. I can't keep up with you. Xiao Yan comforted. I hope. After Yueru finished speaking, she stopped talking and just stared blankly at Xiao Yan. Seeing this, Xiao Yan didn't speak out, and let Yueru watch. Outside the door, Shu Qi was walking around, but it happened to bump into Xiao Yi, who came back. Xiao Yi has also been running to the training ground a lot recently, just to hone her actual combat experience. Who are you? Why is it in our Wujuju? Xiao Yi just saw Shuqi, although she was attracted by Shuqi's beautiful appearance, but the next moment she became vigilant. So strong. Although Shu Qi was extremely free and easy, when she saw Xiao Yi, she was also full of love and pity. There is such a handsome man in the world. But the next moment, Shu Qi realized something was wrong. This Xiao Yi's strength is actually stronger than himself. In general sects, those who have reached the strength of a 7-star Do D have the qualifications to become a teacher. As for the strength of an 8-star Do D, they will be promoted to deacons or elders, and it is impossible to be a disciple. But Xiao Yi's appearance is clearly a disciple of Fenxiang Pavilion, but this guy's strength is actually stronger than some of their elders in Wanhua Pavilion, which makes Shu Qi extremely puzzled. I'm just a passerby, Shu Qi said. Passing by? I think it's someone with bad intentions? Look at the trick. After Xiao Yi finished speaking, she shot immediately, and the general Shu Qi, who knew the picture, was subdued. Wait, I'm Xiao Yan's friend. When Shu Qi saw that Xiao Yi couldn't help but take action, she immediately spoke angrily. Xiao Yi, they are all a group of people, Xiao Yan said at the moment when Xiao Yi attacked. Xiao Yi immediately apologized to Shu Qi in embarrassment when she heard the words. You guy, it's really rude to do it without a second thought. Shu Qi said in dissatisfaction. It's not my fault. Who asked you to come out of our residence? People who don't know think you're a little thief. Xiao Yi whispered. What did you say? Shu Qi got angry when she heard the words, and chased after Xiao Yi, which was quite lively. These two guys, Yueru and Xiao Yan, continued to chat about some topics in the room. Ask for tickets. Today is the same 7 shifts. Can you ask for a ticket and a reward for your support? End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 773. The arrival of Shuqi and Yueru made Wujuju quite lively. However, as time passed, the day when the ruins opened. On this day, both Xiao Yan and Yueru got up early. Obviously they had been waiting for the ruins for a long time. After Old Ju's analysis, there were 5 people who went to the ruins this time, namely Xiao Yan, Qin Xin, Leng Fuyao, Mu Feng and Mu Yingying. It goes without saying that Xiao Yan and Leng Fuyao, one is the mainstay of the Fenxiang Pavilion today, and the other is the genius of the pharmacy refinery, so they must go. As for Qin Xin's words, it seemed that she was bound to gain something in the ruins, so the young man had no choice but to participate immediately. As for Mu Feng and Elder Zhu, they also planned not to let them go. After all, the ruins are extremely dangerous, and it is not enough that there are too many people. But when I thought of the mysterious gossip at the entrance, and Mu Feng knew a little about this kind of thing, so let Xiao Yan bring it with him. As for Mu Yingying, she must go to express her attitude, and Zhu Lao is not very good. Say, let's go. Xiao Yan stood outside the Burning Heaven territory and said to the group of people behind him. After hearing the words, The people behind Xiao Yan nodded secretly. They all knew that the main purpose of the ruins was to help Yueru of Wanhua Pavilion to obtain the real inheritance. Into the hands of others, it depends on their own creation. This trip is extremely dangerous, you guys need to be careful. Mu Shuji looked at Xiao Yan's disciples and said with relief. Big brother. Xiao Yi also stood aside slightly. The ban of the 8-star Do Di strong force made Xiao Yi have to stay at the burning incense pavilion. It's fine. Xiao Yan naturally knew that Xiao Yi was worried about him, and immediately spoke up. Let's go, I wish you a triumphant return this time. Shang Yuan said slightly, and then sent Xiao Yan and the others. Yes. Xiao Yan and the others immediately glanced at each other secretly after hearing the words, and immediately left the burning heaven territory, heading towards the place where the ruins were located. I hope that this battle between the soul and the inheritance will not let the Xuanling royal family succeed. Zhu Jin was in his house, feeling the direction Xiao Yan was leaving, and said slightly. Xuanling royal family, martial arts training ground. Ha ha ha, happy, come again. A very arrogant laughter slowly spread, and I saw Qi Haoqing's upper body in the martial arts training ground at this time, and was constantly attacked by some servants of the 6-star Do Emperor. The attack was so strong that it was actually on his body, leaving a trail of extremely conspicuous scars. Haoqing, it's time to go. Just when Qi Haoqing was about to practice cultivation, Qi Horan slowly appeared, and then said something to him. This Qi Haoqing is also very personable. Using such an intensity of attack to cultivate, I am afraid that the cultivation of *** is on par with the people of the ancient desolate palace. Brother, are you going? Qi Haoqing immediately waved his hands to let the servants go down after hearing this, and then stared at Qi Horan with fiery eyes. Their second senior brothers are very talented, but they have been trapped in the Xuanling royal family for many years and know very little about the outside world. Now they are going to the ruins, and they are immediately excited. Yep, the seal of the ruins has weakened, it's time to set off. Qi Horan nodded after hearing this, and left here immediately. Seeing this, Qi Haoqing immediately put on his clothes and just followed. At this point, the second senior brother went directly to the ruins. My king, the two of them will be sent to the ruins this time, will the fighting spirit. Wen Zi felt the departure of the second Qi brothers, and immediately asked the Xuanling king beside him. Haha, fighting spirit. I'm bound to get this thing. Although the ruins have a devastating suppression on those who are stronger than the 8-star Do Di, this time, I will let the people who are addicted to the Dragon Legion take action at a critical moment. Xuanling king finished speaking, and suddenly laughed strangely. But, my king, the dragon-loving legion was transferred by the guardian guarding Yanqi. Wen Zi said thoughtfully, Hee, I have my own way. And the 8-star Do Emperor's ban in this ruin may be useful to others, but I have enough solutions to solve it. Although the price is too heavy, it is worth it. Wait, it won't be long before not only the Xuanling royal family will be in my pocket, but even the petrified fighting fairy power, holy flame, fighting soul, can't escape. Ha ha ha. After King Xuanling finished speaking, he laughed strangely. Count the time, the ruins are about to open. Let's go, junior sister, Song Yu said to his childhood sweetheart in Wanjiamen. Brother Song Yu, do you think the ruins will be too dangerous this time? In the past, it was my brothers and sisters who accompanied me to go with us. This time around the ruins were banned for hundreds of miles, so we could only go there. Hong Qian said rather puzzled. Don't worry, no matter what the storm is, it's mine. Song Yu smiled slowly when he heard the words, his eyes full of doting. Wait, just when the two were about to leave, Zhu Zhenxian suddenly appeared. Master, what else is there? Hong Qian immediately made a mischievous face and asked. This time the ruins are really not normal, but you have to be careful with the members of the Xuanling royal family. I always feel that something is wrong, but I can't tell you the specifics. Zhu Zhenxian took a sip of wine and said to the two. The Xuanling royal family? Song Yu frowned upon hearing this. Also, be careful with Yueru from Wanhua Pavilion and Xiao Yan from Burning Incense Pavilion. One of these two is the inheritor of this relic, and the other is a genius rarely seen in the Fenxiang Pavilion for thousands of years. Zhu Zhenxian thought for a while and continued. Okay, this disciple has written it down. Song Yu nodded slightly. These people must be so cared by their master, they must have a strong point, so Song Yu is also careful go. After Zhu Zhenxian finished speaking, he left here in an instant, while Song Yu and Hong Qian also slowly walked towards the ruins. Xinya 81 Zhang Wei and Wang Yu, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS. Coem. These super sects are slowly sending people to the ruins. One is to experience their own disciples, and the other is to compete for the highlight of the ruins. Fighting spirit. It may be rude to say that the existence of the fighting spirit makes these super sects' most powerful people unable to sit still. If the restriction in the ruins is not too strong, I am afraid they will directly asterisk it. But because of the special seal, everyone could only send out outstanding disciples to fight for their fighting spirit. At this time, among the 9 super sects, Fenxiang Pavilion and Wanhua Pavilion have already formed a relationship because of Yueru, and the Poison Sect also sent an outstanding disciple, Lin Zhu. As for the Xuanling royal family, they are the 2 brothers Qi Haoqing and Qi Horan, Bing Shui from the Valley of Love, Feng Hong and Du Chun from the ancient desolate palace, Guni from Solomon, Hua Lexin from the puppet house, and so on. As for some other small sects, they did not have the news prepared by these super sects, so they sent a large number of powerhouses, but these powerhouses stopped when they stepped into the ruins for hundreds of miles. They knew that, if they step into the ruins, I am afraid that they will be dissipated in an instant. So those who entered the ruins at this time were all young talents from Zon Santian, and a fiery battle started slowly. Ask for tickets. Today should be 5. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 774. The ruins are located in the wilderness. The wild land is located in the easternmost part of Xuantanshan. The land here is turbulent, mostly high mountains and sparsely populated, and some powerful monsters also live here. In the wild land, there are 2 sects, one is called the Poison Sect, and the other is the Wan Po Sect. Although all the poison sects are women and they practice poison do qi, after all, their xinxing is not bad, but ordinary people often feel that they are cultivating poison do qi, and they have the illusion that they are too threatening. Did not do anything outrageous. But the Wandu Gate is different. Wanduman not only cultivates poison-fighting qi, but also likes to do things that are different from ordinary people. It's like transferring the fingers and bodies of some talented people to myself. Therefore, the reputation of the Wandu sect was extremely stinky throughout the entire Zon Santian. But this time, the site of the ruins is not far from the Wanduman headquarters. Poison old monster, I haven't bothered with you about the last time. What do you want to do this time? It was a woman who spoke. The woman's voice was rather strange, and her hands actually gave off a faint sigh of relief. Evil breath. Humph. Miss Poison. Don't think I don't know what the asterisk is going on in your heart. The poisonous old monster questioned. These 2 are impressively powerful in the myriad poison sect. One is an old poisonous monster whose strength has reached the late stage of the 8-star Do Emperor. What the asterisk am I trying to do? The woman, who looked a little weird without her hands, stared at the old monster and asked. Humph, the old man is too lazy to reason with you. But Madam Poison, you have to remember it for me, it's not you who has the final say in the 10,000 poison sect. The poison old monster left a sentence and disappeared immediately. This old poisonous monster is getting more and more lawless. Seeing that the old poisonous monster left, Mrs. Poison muttered a few words at the sight of Wei Wei's leaving figure. But in the next moment, the missing hands of the poisonous lady suddenly appeared in her body in a burst of black smoke. The evil scorpion's claws are really easy to use. I want to use this thing to deal with the 9-star Do Emperor of Yijian. Wang Shi has already rushed to the ruins. Whatever you say this time, I will also get the fighting spirit. Wang Shi, for the master's plan, I can only sacrifice you this time. Ha ha ha. After the poisonous lady finished speaking, she laughed strangely, but her hands were like monsters, and there was a fierce murderous aura invisibly. After speaking, the 10,000 poison sect became quiet, and in the distance, a man with some monster scales on his body actually sneezed. Strange, who is scolding me? The man was Wang Shi, the most outstanding person in the Wandu sect today. Don't look at Wang Shi, although he has some monster scales on his body, but his strength can reach the level of the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, and this strength is probably an extremely outstanding existence in the entire Zon Santian. Forget it, it doesn't matter. The place where the ruins open this time is in our wild land, and nothing can be said to take away that great fortune for others. And if it is possible, I must bring it back to the master. The master seems to like the things in the ruins this time. Wang Xie shook his head to himself, and then walked towards the ruins. Xiao Yan and his party left the burning incense pavilion and went to the wild land. They passed by the Xuanling royal family on the way. Xiao Yan also used his soul power to probe the depths of the underground palace, but the result for Xiao Yan was nothing. Xiao Yan was a little curious. Why did the Xuanling royal family imprison Sheng Yan? Will they not absorb it? Why imprisoned? The attractiveness of the holy flame is probably enough to rank first among any fighting skills. Could it be that there is something going on in the Xuanling royal family? The next moment, Xiao Yan thought again. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Kom. After a short thought, Xiao Yan didn't even think about it, and went straight to the destination. Is this a wasteland? It's really desolate. Just after leaving the Xuanling royal family and entering the wild land, Mu Yingying was the first to feel a rather desolate aura. This aura just entered the body, and Mu Yingying felt a burst of energy. Discomfort. Not only Mu Yingying, but also a few people in the group, except Shu Qi and Xiao Yan, the others all appeared in the same state. This is the land of wild desolation. Everyone be careful. These wild spirits are harmful to the body. Please don't inhale. As the elder sister of Wanhua Pavilion, Shu Qi immediately took the lead. Bastard! Shu Qi had just finished speaking, when he saw that several people behind him had been attacked. Not only his expression changed. My own mistakes. The inhalation of this reckless spirit will affect future cultivation. Here, eat one for each person. Just when Shu Qi was in a bit of a difficult time, Xiao Yan didn't speak, and then took out a few crystal-clear medicinal pills from his arms, and then distributed them to the crowd. When the other people saw this, they all became rude. After all, they all knew that although this reckless aura would happen for a while, but if it did happen, it would be extremely troublesome. Sure enough, it's a magic elixir. After eating it, I feel much better. Mu Feng just finished eating and immediately laughed. Don't let your guard down. The barren land is called abandoned soil, so everyone should not let their guard down. Wrap each with a grudge to prevent accidents. Shu Qi said solemnly. Okay. After hearing the words, the others followed suit. After all, although Shu Qi is powerful, she doesn't have the slightest bit of pretense, so several people agree with her command. Let's go. Xiao Yan saw that several people had recovered slightly, and then said, They are the entrance to the wasteland, and there is obviously still some time before the ruins. I really underestimate you. The next moment, Shu Qi said something to Xiao Yan in a voice that she could only hear. Each other. Xiao Yan suddenly smiled when he heard the words, although he had heard that the aura of reckless desolation was extraordinary, but don't forget Xiao Yan's identity as a pharmacist. This little brother, wait. Just as Xiao Yan and his party were about to leave, a magnetic voice slowly sounded in the sky. Have an enemy? Qinqin's strength is not bad, so naturally she noticed some voices and looked at it immediately. Don't, I'm just here to ask for some medicine. The figure on the ground hurriedly explained the strange gaze of several people in the sky. It's so uncomfortable. As soon as the man on the ground finished speaking, the beautiful woman in his arms suddenly let out a weak voice. It's okay. I found medicine for you. The man said to the woman in his arms with love. 2 7-star fighting emperor-level powerhouses. Xiao Yan murmured, but was shocked by the two guys on the ground. The two guys on the ground, a man and a woman, must look like a couple or husband and wife, and what makes Xiao Yan the most strange is that both of them are carrying a pair of swords, and Xiao Yan can even rely on his soul. The power felt a wave of extreme terror from above. This is people from Wanzhemen? Shu Qi stayed in the sky, and then said slightly. There are 3 more at 1 o'clock in the evening. End of this chapter.